Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Disconnect audio, meeting settings. Meeting, share, chat, video. म्हणजे तुमच्या मोबाईल तर बाकीचे पण येणार बाकीचे माझे 15% कोणातरी फोन करावा इथे पण आहे
स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। विष्णुपाद सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। विष्णुपाद श्री गौर किशोर दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। विष्णुपाद भक्ति अभिनव ठाकुर की जय। विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सर्वमस्त जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नामाचार्य शिलो हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, मायापुर धाम की जय, श्री नवद्वीप वृंदावन धाम की जय, श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गंगा माई जमुना माई तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र की जय, श्री नृसिंह बरादेव की जय, भक्त प्रभु श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंद। All glories to the assembly. All glories to the assembly. All glories to the assembly. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to the Saturday Bhakti Sangh. And we had a very nice program last week. Continue the same rapport this time also. We'll start with the Prabhupada's chanting. So, yeah.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna devotees.
Troubled by challenges and obstacles in life, dedicated to Shanidev, this Saturday.
So today we have we all know is Great Shyam Kumar Dasa. He is initiated disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and has been practicing Krishna conscious more than 2 decades. He has played various roles in ISKCON Philadelphia, and at ISKCON Temple he was a vice president, a board member, a festival committee member, and a Rath Yatra committee vice chairman. He was spearheading cooking for Sunday feast too. He is preaching Krishna consciousness according to his capacity in ISKCON Philadelphia. He also played various roles, vital roles, in spreading Krishna consciousness at Bensalem Bhakti Center. So I welcome Shyam Kumar Dasa. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswati vyasam tatho jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranamo dukha tam namami harim param nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranamo dukha tam namami harim param nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranamo dukha tam namami harim param. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, fourth chapter, text number 4. I've sent the text to the Bensalem Bhakti Vriksha group. Please repeat. Tasya putro mahayogi samadran nirvikalpakaha ekantamatirunnidro gudo mudama iva iveyate tasya putro mahayogi Samadran Nirvikalpakaha Ekantamatirunnitro Gudo Mudaiveyate 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 Tasya Putro Mahayogi Samadran Nirvikalpakaha Ekantamatirunnitro Gudo Mudaiveyate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Vyasadeva's son was a great devotee, an equibalanced monist, whose mind was always concentrated in monism. He was transcendental to mundane activities, but being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. Purport. Srila Sukadeva Goswami was a liberated soul, and thus he remained always alert not to be trapped by the illusory energy. In the Bhagavad Gita, this alertness is very lucidly explained. The liberated soul and the conditioned soul have different engagements. The liberated soul is always engaged in the progressive path of spiritual attainment, which is something like a dream for the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul cannot imagine the actual engagements of the liberated soul. While the conditioned soul thus dreams about spiritual engagements, the liberated soul is awake. Similarly, the engagement of a conditioned soul appears to be a dream for the liberated soul. A conditioned soul and a liberated soul may apparently be on the same platform, but factually, they are differently engaged, and their attention is always alert, either in sense enjoyment or in self-realization. The conditioned soul is absorbed in matter, whereas the liberated soul is completely indifferent to matter. This indifference is explained as follows. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuramitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadhani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaurabhakta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama.
Thank you all for coming again. So, some background information. Since it's been now almost 3 weeks since we broke away from the series, so we've been talking about different things. So we are in the first canto, 4th chapter. So far what we have done, let's briefly cover that. So we are in Naimisharanya, where Shukadev Goswami had already spoken Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So that Bhagavatam is being narrated to all the sages, headed by Shaunaka Rishi. So Sutta Goswami, who attended that hearing, he came to Naimisharanya. So in the first canto, first chapter, there is an explanation of how Sutta Goswami came. He was received with respect, and then a series of 6 questions were asked. So the first question asked was, what is the ultimate benefit for all the human beings? Second question asked was, what is the essence of all the scriptures? It's important that we go back and then remember these things to make our Bhagavatam engagement, involvement, special. Every time we remember all these things, our absorption of Bhagavatam improves. So the first question is, what is it that's most important as human beings? Second question is, what is the essence of all scriptures? Third question asked was, Lord Krishna, who was then just born and had left. This is at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, the conversation is taking place. So Krishna just had left the planet. So they're saying Krishna had appeared as son of Devaki and Vasudeva. What was the purpose of his appearance? That was the third question. The fourth question is, now Supreme Lord has many incarnations. Please talk to us about all those incarnations. He has innumerable incarnations, but they are interested, the sages are interested to know what these incarnations are. Now, in each one of those incarnations, he has performed various activities. So the fifth question is, talk to us about his leelas. Not only incarnations, his leelas. That is the fifth question. And the sixth question is, now that Krishna has gone back, the main purpose Krishna came was to establish Dharma. Krishna has gone back after establishing Dharma, but still somebody has to make sure that Dharma is, the established Dharma is still followed. So who has taken that charge? Who has taken the charge of establishing Dharma? Or who is the upkeeper of the Dharma? Whose shelter has the Dharma taken? That is the sixth question. So this is the first chapter. So second and third chapter, Sutta Goswami briefly answered all these 6 questions, establishing Krishna as the Supreme. Now, the last question that was asked, Dharmaha kam sharanam gataha. Now that Krishna has left, Yogeshware Krishna swakashtam aduna upete, that he has gone back to his swakashtam, his own abode. Now, Dharmaha kam sharanam gataha. Dharma has taken shelter of whom? Who will protect Dharma? So for that question, the end of third chapter, there were 4 shlokas that Sutta Goswami answered. So Sutta Goswami said, Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam, which is Brahma Samhitam. We discussed about this. This Bhagavatam, which is equal to all the Vedic literature, the essence of all the Vedic literatures. So this Bhagavatam has come about as replacement of Krishna, and this Bhagavatam contains Krishna's pastimes. So this Bhagavatam is the one, when we take shelter, we are taking shelter of Krishna. And if we take shelter of Krishna, this Bhagavatam, which is non-different from Krishna, will actually protect Dharma. And then, in essence, we are following Dharma if we attach ourselves to Bhagavatam, if we follow what is in Bhagavatam. So that is the essence of Bhagavatam. So this Bhagavatam has arisen just like Kalau Nashta Drisham Esha. In this Kali Yuga, all of us are Nashta Drisham. Our vision of Dharma has been destroyed in Kali Yuga. So if we do not have that vision, right, we have become blind, then there has to be something that shines the light to show us the reality, what is important. So that Nashtadasham, for us, Kalau Nashtadasham, Esha Arkaha, just like sun, Aduna, uh, today it has risen. So this Bhagavatam is that sun. And then Sutta Goswami says this Bhagavatam was compiled by Srila Vyasadeva. It was then given to his son, Shukadeva Goswami. And then the same Srimad Bhagavatam was given by Shukadeva Goswami, preached by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. And Sutta Goswami says, I was there at that time when this conversation happened. So now I will make you hear the Srimad Bhagavatam as spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Now, in the fourth chapter, now this is the end of third chapter, fourth chapter, Shaunaka Muni now gets up and he is talking to Sutta Goswami because he is excited. We have to understand, this is the first time that these great sages, they are about to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and they understand the value of Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like, I remember my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, they have fond memories because they had no idea what Srimad Bhagavatam was. Just like most of us, we had no idea what Srimad Bhagavatam was, right? Now, when Srila Prabhupada came to US in 1965, Srila Prabhupada only had 3 volumes of the first canto. So only first canto Srila Prabhupada had translated. The remaining cantos, after Srila Prabhupada arrived in US, he started translating. So I remember His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj recounting that they were eagerly waiting when the next canto of Srimad Bhagavatam would come, would get printed and then would get distributed. Why? Because it was so nectarine. They were attached to Srimad Bhagavatam and their heart was attracted by it. So they understood, how exhilarating the Srimad Bhagavatam can be. So Sutta Goswami was like that. And in fact, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj remembers, he says that we do not remember the years like 1972, 1973, 1974, but then we remember the year. From this verse till verse number 9, the next 5 verses, Shaunaka Muni is actually talking about Sutta Goswami, Shukadeva Goswami. So we know it came from Vyasadeva to Shukadeva Goswami. Now Vyasadeva was glorified. It came to Shukadeva Goswami. The next 5, including this verse, 5 verses, Shaunaka Muni is asking questions about Shukadeva Goswami. Now, why do we need to know about Shukadeva Goswami? Why Shaunaka Muni is asking these questions? This is how we study Srimad Bhagavatam. We have to keep asking why. What is in it for me? Why is Shaunaka Muni glorifying Sutta Goswami here? Shukadeva Goswami here. So the answer is simple. Now, if we understand the person who is speaking, we understand the value of what is being spoken about. Just to give you an example, you have a medical condition, let's say. Now, if you can ask a solution, a remedy for that medical solution, a medical situation to your friends, to your family, anybody, right? They can give so many suggestions, right? Now, if the same suggestion comes from, say, an expert in the medical field, a doctor who has had many years of experience, who is an expert in that field, then the value of that suggestion, what he's speaking, the matter that he's mentioning, actually has more importance than what your relatives say, what your friends say, right? Same thing. If we understand the position of Suta Goswami, position of Shukadev Goswami, then we actually can understand where the subject matter is covering, how important it is. That is one reason. The second reason is, if we understand the background of Shukadev Goswami, there are many subject matters in Srimad Bhagavatam that might bewilder us. Now, one such specific subject matter that Srila Prabhupada always talks about is the Rasa Leela, which we as human beings do not understand. As Srila Prabhupada says, it's difficult to understand. We misinterpret, right? But then when we understand the person who is speaking, who is detached from everything, as we will see, that's the subject matter that's covered here. He is self-realized, he is detached from everything, he has no material attachments, no material attractions. Now, when he is speaking Rasa Leela, what is the intention? If we understand that theoretically at least, it will help us actually absorb in that mode. So that is the importance. That is why we have to understand each one of these shlokas. So in this shloka, it's talking about some qualities of Shukadev Goswami. Tasya Putro Mahayogi. The first qualification of Shukadev Goswami is being talked about as Mahayogi, right? The Shukadev Goswami is Mahayogi. Now, the yoga word, it means to join, to connect. Yuj is the root word. So when we say he's a yogi, that means he's connected. Connected to what? That's the next question. He's connected to Krishna, right? So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about this. There is a verse that talks about Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmanah shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. So yoginam api sarvesham. There are many types of yogis Krishna is talking about. There is Jnana yogi, Dhyana yogi. There is also Ashtanga yogi, right? There are many kinds of yogis that are trying to actually connect to Krishna. That is their ultimate goal, the Supreme Lord, right? Now, yoginam api sarvesham, of all these yogis, there is one person that stands out, Krishna is saying. Who is that? Madgatena antaratmanaha. So, antaratmanaha, from within his mind is totally connected to me. Madgatena, it's only directed towards me. Shraddhavan, who is with utmost faith. Bhajate yaha, who worships me. Mam, Krishna is speaking to me, worships me. Same yukta tamamataha. He is the highest of the yogis. So, Shukadev Goswami here is that personality who is connected with Krishna. So that connection is very important. So to understand this, we have the light, right? Like for example, say I have to connect my phone to the charge, right? Now the phone is there, the charger is there, the plug is there, electricity is there, everything is there, but my phone is not charging. Why? Because it's not connected, right? Unless we make that connection, the real effect is not felt, right? So that is the difference. Mahayogi, Shukadev Goswami is already connected with Krishna. So when he's already connected with Krishna, that connection is established. What he talks about is of utmost importance. He cannot speak something that is not in line with what's scripturally blessed. So that we have to understand. So he's Mahayogi because he's connected with Krishna. He's always connected with Krishna, right? So the next one, it's very interesting. Samadrik is called Samadrik. Now, Sama is equal. Drik is drishti. It comes from seeing, vision, right? He has equal vision. Now we have to break it down and understand what this equal vision means, right? Now, Prabhupada covers this in the purport. Prabhupada is talking about materialists and spiritualists. Now, materialists look at everything with an intention of satisfying their own senses, right? So they are also samadrik. They are also equally seeing, they have an equal vision. What is their vision? That everything around me is for my enjoyment. That is why I can kill animals, I can take intoxication, I can do whatever I want, because this whole nature, material nature, is created for me to exploit. And the result of that exploitation is what? I want to be happy. It has to satisfy my senses, right? Now, a spiritualist, when he is samadra, he doesn't have this idea. He is also equal vision. Like, for example, now a materialist is seeing a cow, he's seeing a fish, a chicken, a goat, everything as samadrik. Why? Because it's meat for him, like it's satisfying his senses, right? But for a spiritualist, samadrik doesn't mean the external covering. It means something beyond that. So in Bhagavad Gita again, there is a shloka. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. There also the same thing comes. Samadarshi. One who sees equal, what things he sees as equal. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. One learned Brahmana who is very well versed in scriptures. He's saying that person equal to Gavi, a cow, Hastini, a elephant, then a Shunaka, a dog, and then Shwapacha, dog eater. So he's seeing all these as equal. How can all these be equal? A dog eater cannot be equal to a well-learned Brahmana, right? That we know. So he says, Pandita Samadarshinaha. What is he seeing as equal in all these things? He's seeing, exactly, he's seeing soul in all these things. He is not seeing the external body. He has gone beyond that to something that our senses cannot comprehend. Our senses cannot actually understand, right? That is what is called transcending the material energy. So when you transcend the material energy, you don't see the bodily coverings, but you see something that is beyond that, which is the spirit soul. That is the Samadarshana. So every living entity, or even the trees, the non-moving entities, they all have these souls. So a person who is spiritually inclined, he understands this, right? So that is the Samadarshi. Now, that Samadarshi can be applicable to Shukadeva Goswami. He is seeing soul as a common theme in all the living entities. And now the next verse is a little more interesting. We'll cover that next week. There's a very interesting example that is given also, right? Now, interestingly, for Shukadeva Goswami, this is not the end. Sama doesn't just mean he's only seeing the soul, because he is self-realized, he has gone beyond that. So what does that sama mean here? Very interesting to understand, right? Now Krishna actually says this. He says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu, na medveshosti na priyaha. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Sama aham sarva bhuteshu. So I'm equal to everyone, all the living entities, Krishna is saying. So if we break this, Sama Aham, Krishna is saying, like, one other name of me is Sama. Like, for example, if I have to say who I am, I can say Shyam Kumar dasa Aham, right? My name is Shyam Kumar dasa. Krishna is saying Samoham. Krishna's one other name is Sama, right? So Shukadeva Goswami, who is enlightened, who is transcended the three modes of material energy, he is Samadrik. He's not only seeing the soul, but he's able to see Krishna in everyone. See, that is the important part. Why Shukadeva Goswami was able to speak. And actually, we see this when Shukadeva Goswami came to this place where Maharaj Parikshit was already present. All the sages had gathered. If you look at the list of the sages, these were great personalities, starting with his own father. Vyasadeva was there. His guru, Narad Muni, was there. Atri, Angirasa, who are Brahma's firstborn children, they were there. Vishwamitra, Vasishta, Parashara Muni, Parishuram, Lord Parishuram was there. Then Gautama Muni, all these great sages, right? These great sages, they are far beyond the age of Shukadeva Goswami, who was only 16 years, right? Now, even then, for 7 days and 7 nights, they sat in front of Shukadeva Goswami and heard intently what Shukadeva Goswami was speaking. Why? Because Shukadeva Goswami was already connected to Krishna. He was only seeing Krishna. He was Samadrik. Because he was seeing Krishna, all these sages understood this one is important for me. Now, that is why they sat for 7 days and nights and could hear Shukadeva Goswami. So, Samadrik. Next one, the quality, Nirvikalpaka. Now, this is again one more very interesting word. To break it up, it has 3 parts. We know Nirvikalpa, Nirvikalpa, Nirvikalpa. So 3 parts. Nirvikalpa. Now, kalpa we all understand. We say Vancha kalpataru bhyashta. Kalpataru, right? We understand this word. Kalpa means desires fulfilling tree, kalpataru, right? Now, kalpa also is like kalpana, means imagination. We can imagine so many things, right? Now, vikalpa means many varieties of things that we can imagine. Now, nirvikalpa is, which says the negation of existence of many varieties. That means there is only one thing that exists, not many, there is one thing that exists. And this is what Prabhupada is translating as monism. And this is what Shankaracharya proposed. So the monism theory that he proposed is there is only one Atma, one Brahman. There is no different aspects of Brahman. There is only one Brahman. I'm also part of that Brahman. You are also part of that Brahman. And Krishna is also part of that Brahman. Rama is also part of that Brahman. They are all self-realized. When we become self-realized, we also become equal to Krishna. We also become equal to Rama because it's all one Brahman. This is Nirvikalpa. There is no variety. There is only one thing. There is oneness, right? That is the monism that Shankaracharya preached. Now, why Shaunakumani is talking about Nirvikalpa as qualification or a guna, quality of Shukadeva Goswami. Now, the monism, the absolute monism that is being talked about here is not that Shukadeva Goswami sees all of us as equal to the Supreme Lord Krishna, Rama. No. He's looking at it as the energies of Krishna, they are everywhere. So everything actually comes from one source, which is Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate. Everything is coming from Krishna. So the way it's explained is the Nirvikalpa here, the oneness that Shukadeva Goswami is saying is not the oneness of the Brahman, but it's oneness where everything comes from Krishna and Krishna is that one source of everything. We are not equal to Krishna. If we are equal to Krishna, then he cannot be Mahayogi. Prabhupada translates Mahayogi as a great devotee. He cannot be devotee. Then there is no Supreme Lord and then there is no Bhakta, right? So, Nirvikalpakaha, he is seeing Krishna as the source of everything. And Krishna being the source of everything, we are also part and parcel of Krishna. That is established by Achintya Veda Abheda Tattva. We have the same matter as Krishna. We are spirit. Krishna is spirit. We are We are spirit, as spirit souls, right? But then we are same in quality. We are the same spirit soul, but then we are different in quantity. We are tiny, minute, and Krishna is Vibhu, is is magnanimous, right? So that is Nirvikalpaka. Now, the next one that is explained is Mati, Ekamati, Ekantamati, right? His mind, his intelligence is completely devoted to just connecting with Krishna. There is a story in Panchatantra. I think we all probably have heard this. Like they gave one small stick, and the guru gives this small stick to a disciple and says break it. He breaks it very easily without effort. Then he gives two sticks, small same kind of sticks, break it. He breaks it. Then gives three with little more effort. He breaks it. Right, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. But at some point, when the sticks gather, he is not able to break. Like say 8 sticks, is not able to break with using his strength. Right now, our mind is like that. Our mind, if it has many branches. Krishna says about this in Bhagavad Gita. He says, "Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana." So our buddhi, it has to be vyavasayatmika. That means it has to be dedicated to thinking about Krishna. Now, all our facets, mental facets, can be dedicated to that without getting distracted. Like, we all have this experience when we are chanting in the middle of the mantra, then, our thought goes to one thing, then it leads to one other thing, then it leads to one other thing, one other thing. Why? We are not able to focus. Just like all those sticks. Bahushakahi anantasya buddhayo avyavasayinam. We are avyavasayi. We do not have that strength to focus our mind exclusively, all threads of our mind exclusively on Krishna. Why? Because avyavasayi. That is why Bahushaka. Shaka means we have many branches. Our mind has many branches that we are not able to tie together. Right? Just like another example is a thread. You can take out like smaller threads, and then you can break the thread easily. But when you have all the threads together, it has the strength. You cannot break it, right? Similarly, Shukadev Goswami has his mind totally focused. He doesn't have many branches. It's one single branch, right? And with that one single branch, he's focusing on Krishna. And that is why 7 days he could speak. Not only about 7 days speaking, he was wandering like a mad person, Mudha. Iva iyate, like that's explained that he is fully naked. He doesn't care what to eat, where to sleep, where to go next. He's just wandering, and then like there are kids throwing stones at him. They're thinking that he's a mad person, right? All this is happening, but he's not worried. He's not, it doesn't matter to him. Why? Because his mind is fully focused. Vyavasayatmika buddhi on Krishna. So that is why he's able to speak. He's able to assimilate all this about Krishna, right? And then the next one is talked about. What's the next one? Mana. Then Uddintraha, right? Now this is one very important thing. Now, Nidra is ignorance. We all know this, right? Because when we are sleeping, that time is spent without us actively engaging, even thinking about Krishna, right? Now, actually, those self-realized souls, they do not sleep. Actually, there are many stories where it's about Srila Prabhupada himself. Like there was a time when he was sleeping and people could hear actually him actively chanting from within, right? So a self-realized person, even when he is sleeping, is not actually sleeping, right? Because he has transcended the sleep. Unnidra. Nidra. Unnidra means he has gone beyond the sleep, right? Now, all of us are in that ignorant state, right? Where we are either engaged in material engagements, our mind is always engaged or disturbed in material engagements, right? If not, we are sleeping, right? These are the two conditions that we are in. But Shukadeva Goswami has gone beyond this. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, again, there's a shloka that talks about this. It talks about how a person who is self-realized, the activities of the conditioned souls, he sees them as the sleeping. Yanisha sarva bhutanam. So Yanisha, what is night? For us, night means sleep and ignorance. So it says Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami. Samyami means one who has control of his senses, which is self-realized. So a samyami, he is awake, jagrati, when Yanisha sarva bhutanam. So now it doesn't only mean that when it is night time, he is not sleeping, he is awake, but it also means to the things that we are attracted to. We are attracted to the material things, right? So those material things, the person who is self-realized, he attaches no importance. He attaches no value to them. Right? Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani. So the things that we are attached to, the material aspects of the things, yasyam jagrati bhutani, all of us, right? Sa nisha pashyato munihi. So a muni, a person who is self-realized, he actually sees our engagements as dream state, like Prabhupada explained. It's not of any use because he understands the temporary nature of all these things, right? So unnidraha. So this is another quality that Shukadeva Goswami had, right? Now the last one is what? Gudaha. Now with all this, because he was self-realized, he never tried to pose himself as a treasure house of this knowledge. Gudaha, he always remained unexposed. Why? This is another aspect that Srila Prabhupada also covers. He says, those who are really advanced, they do not actually try to themselves advertise about themselves, right? That, I'm so great, I know about all these things, right? He always remained unexposed. Gudaha. This is another quality why Shukadeva Goswami, when he appeared, everyone was surprised. At this place where all the sages had gathered, Parikshit Maharaj had gathered, Parikshit Maharaj was trying to ask everyone to tell him what to do for the next 7 days, because that is the amount of time he had, right? So what do I do? What should I do, right? Now, when Shukadeva Goswami walked in, everyone was surprised because Shukadeva Goswami was not available to anybody. He wouldn't actually be available, accessible to anyone, but he walked in himself. So this is what is called, the Daiva Sanghatita. So this is an arrangement, a divine arrangement that was made possible, right? So that is why he is Gudaha. He never exposed himself till this point. But then he appeared as Muda Iva Yat, right? Now all these things actually they are glorifications of Shukadeva Goswami. Now one thing we have to understand, very important. Now as we progress in our spiritual path, now one thing that's very important for us is, now whether it's studying Srimad Bhagavatam, studying any part of the scriptures, following instructions from the spiritual master, right? What is the ultimate goal? As explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, ultimate goal is what? Ante Narayana Smriti. Why we are talking about Shukadeva Goswami instead of talking about Krishna? Srimad Bhagavatam is about Krishna, right? Why we are talking about Shukadeva Goswami? Because Shukadeva Goswami was one such personality who sets examples for us to follow, right? Now all these things, Samadrik is always saying Krishna, which is a lesson for us that we have to keep always our vision on Krishna. It's difficult, right? But that is the sadhana that we have to do. As long as we have that goal, we should never lose track of our goal. The other example that I think I've spoken sometime back also, when we are driving, we have so many other things that we are focusing on, or we are actually distracted towards. Like, we may look at the speedometer, we may look at the lanes, like who is coming where, we have to look at what exit I have to take, we have to talk somebody, who is in the car or somebody on the phone, we may turn on the radio, so many things, right? Now, irrespective of all this, we know where we are heading, right? We are actually progressing towards our goal, which is very important, right? Now, we shouldn't be thinking about, oh, we are talking about Shukadev Goswami. Why not Lord Krishna? What is the importance of Shukadev Goswami, right? Because Shukadev Goswami is Samadrik. We are learning that our goal ultimately is Krishna, right? To get to Krishna, we have to get the help of devotees like this. We have to develop those qualities, right? That is why we are hearing about these qualities, right? And the the baseline, the bottom line is what? We have to always look to Krishna. We have to remember Krishna. That is the bottom line. Vismartavyaha na jatuchit. Smartavyaha satatam Vishnu. Vismartavya na jatuchit. Right? And we ourselves cannot actually lift ourselves to a level where we can have direct communication with Krishna. Only through our Guru Parampara, only through great souls, their examples like Shukadev Goswami, we can actually go to Krishna. There's one video, I want to close with this one. I'll send it to the Bensalem group. It's very interesting. I was thinking about Samadrik. There are three meanings that we talked about. Samadrik means one who is seeing about a materialistic person who sees everything as something for his own enjoyment, right? That is also Samadrik. Like his equal vision about everything as something that's available for his enjoyment. The spiritualist, one level of Samadrik is, I'm seeing spirit soul in everyone, and the spirit soul is equal. The bodies are different. The higher version of that for a spiritualist is Samadrik. Krishna is present in everyone's heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. Right? Krishna says, I'm in everyone's heart. So Shukadev Goswami is Samadrik there because he's Krishna not only within his heart, but within the heart of everyone he can see Krishna. Right? Now, there is this one very interesting snippet that I found. Let me forward it. And then we can just, it's a very short part, and we can if you can click and open that, it's very interesting. Let me play this here. You may not be able to see. You can probably look at your phone.
Yeah.
I'm just like, for those like that are on the, you can just. The music is okay, Proj. We don't need the music. Yeah. We did. Oh.
What was the thing of this?
Say that again.
What is the
Okay, so let's understand. So what I found was, when I was thinking about Samadrik, right? Now Shukadev Goswami is able to see equally, like Krishna in everyone, right? Now, when we get to that stage, because we ourselves are unable to see Krishna, but if we surrender to, like, this is one of the things Srimad Bhagavatam talks about also, right? This is the reason why we have Guru. This is the reason why we have Parampara. This is the reason why we have these great devotees, right? The purpose is we ourselves are not able to lift ourselves to see Krishna, right? So now this child, is like us. Now, the child, like if you saw the video, the father, let's say, he's like Krishna, right? Krishna has no boundaries. He can pass through everything. So the child passes, the father passes through those ropes, right? And then easily he crosses and goes to the other side. When child is trying to do, right, the child doesn't know what to do. We are in that situation. We cannot trust our own powers to do this, right? Because we do not have any of those powers. So the child initially is saying, take me, take me, take me, if you observe, right? Hoping that Krishna will take, right? We are like that, right? But what does Krishna do? Krishna says, no, you have to try, right? Krishna doesn't just lift us up. Same thing like what this father is doing. Why? Krishna wants us to use our free will. I might say, Krishna, take me, take me. The moment I take him, I'll go to a spiritual world and then I'll start doing the same things that I'm doing here, right? That's not going to work because then it's not what the spiritual world is designed for. So the child has to try. Now the child tried, if you remember, right? It's trying, it's looking at the Krishna. I mean, the father. It's not, it's actually getting disturbed that the father might go, but then it's looking at the father. It's trying. It's looking at the father trying, but then it got entangled. It's not. It doesn't know what to do now at this point, right? So what does father do? Father comes, lifts the child, but puts him back on the other side. Not, cross across the rows, but he puts him back on the other side. This is our rebirth, right? We are trying, we have to try, right? This is what we have to do. We may not be able to complete our journey in this one lifetime. We have to try. And we get entangled, right? We should not give up. The child didn't give up. The child didn't just sit down, or it didn't look for help for somebody else to come and help, right? Child kept trying, but the child knew I have to look to the father, look to Krishna, right? So child started looking, and then Krishna understood this is beyond child's capacity. So Krishna, when the father came, lifted the child, but again, child has to do its own efforts. So Krishna takes us out, but he still keeps us in the material world. The entanglement is there still, till we come to the point of understanding these entanglements have to be removed by us. And then the father walked away. If you remember, the child was kept. Child thought, when first time when I saw, okay, now the father is going to take the child and walk. No, the child again was kept on the other side of the rope. Now, father walked away, and then you could see the baby was disturbed. Like the baby was like, wait, 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 wait. And then the father, started going, and then he sat down there. And at that time, if you see, the baby was at least like, now I can try again, because it understood father is there waiting for me. See, that is a very important part that we understand from Srimad Bhagavatam, that Krishna is always looking at us. Sometimes we might lose vision of this. We might think that, oh, does God exist? Krishna is not there. Why is he giving us so much difficulties, right? But then Krishna is always looking for us. The moment we realize this, then we actually can get to try to get over this material entanglement easily. So that is the path of the faith, that Krishna is always watching us. Krishna is there for us, right? And then when the child again tried next time, the child was able to actually see and then learn and then go, right? So this is the part of Samadrik. Like Samadrik means we have to see Krishna always in everything. Whether it is our material entanglements, material challenges, whether it is our body, physical body, or our family, whatever the challenges are, we have to always keep thinking Krishna is there. Krishna is going to be able to help us. So 7:31. Let's share some reflections, and then we can close.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's very nicely shared. Take every point from today's lecture. We have to focus like we have to use our brain 100%. Like not keeping like a lot of 100 branches. Keep one branch and focus on Krishna's in Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's very helpful to connect the Krishnas. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, very nice lecture.
Shivaji Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, very nice lecture. My reflection and takeaway for today is regarding the idea of samadruk and how spiritualists are able to see not only a soul in every living being, but also be able to see Krishna in every being, and how that contributes to the idea that like all of existence, all of life is part of one whole, and that one whole pertains to Krishna. And I like the example that you gave as well regarding like how like a bundle of sticks or a bunch of threads, when you have many of them together, that they're unable to be broken easily. That was my reflection for today. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's very nice lesson, and Sona Krusi explained that very Srimad Bhagavatham from spoken by, and he explained the importance of Sukadeva Goswami, that is a liberated, self-realized soul, and all this explanation. And it's also reminded that like source of everything is Lord Krishna. We are all part of it, part of it. Like same thing, like a sun provide energy, source of every light and energy which every material body living on it. So like that. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Today's my takeaway is like Sona Krusi glorify about Sukadeva Goswami. So he's like a self-realized soul, and he's like Mahayogi, and like he has like equal vision, and like Nirvikal. Yeah. So he just glorify about like Sukadeva Goswami's all quality, and our like ultimate goal is like we have to just remember Ante to Narayan Smriti. So we have to keep remembering Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, that example was very nice. It's easy to understand that whatever we keep trying, we may not succeed, but we have to keep on trying. We should know that Krishna is always there to help us. Krishna wants us, all of us, to come to him, and we should not be discouraged or feel, but we have to keep trying. The more we keep trying, Krishna brings us forward. That's what I learned from this example. And also, in the spiritual path, we cannot attain Krishna through ourselves. We need Guru. Only with the grace of Guru and with the help of Guru, we can reach Krishna. Yes, and regarding Mahayogi of Sukadeva Goswami, it is yes, it is in the transcendental state that when he came itself, he was already connected with Krishna. So it is not bothered like whatever we see in the religion. This one, his vision is beyond our vision. So that's why he is Mahayogi, and it's very nice to learn the qualities of Sukadeva Goswami, and yes, the oneness is Ante Krishna Gati, which you are saying. I just want to know that what is Ante and Krishna Gati?
Ante Narayana Smriti.
Ante is
In the end.
Gati.
Which one you are talking about?
Ante Krishna Gati. Did you say that?
Oh, Ante Narayana Smriti.
Narayana Smriti. Yes, Narayana. Can you please tell me?
Yeah, so Etavan Sankhya Yoga Yam. So Anybody remembers that? Etavan Sankhya Yogyabhyam Swadharma Parinishthitaha Janma Labha Parapumsam Ante Narayana Smriti. Again, Srimad Bhagavatam Shloka. So it says, Janma Labha Para Pumsam, of all the human beings. What is the Para Labha of Janma? We've taken birth. What is the purpose of our birth, right? What is the highest that we can achieve? That can be achieved only when Ante, when we leave this body, Narayana Smriti. If we can remember Krishna at the end of our, when we leave the body, that is the Janma Labha. That is the highest benefit that we can obtain from our life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thanks for the wonderful class. So my takeaway will be, we should be connected to Krishna. Always we should try to connect with Krishna, and our vision, our ultimate goal should be the vision on Krishna, and we should remember Krishna by reading the examples from Srimad Bhagavatam of the devotees, and try to develop those qualities in us, and you have wonderfully explained the glorifications of Sukadeva Goswami. So, thanks.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, that was really nice. How you started the class, it was really nice. How the Bhagavatam came and how important is Bhagavatam is in our life. And I really feel that I have to cut down many sakhas. I have like too many branches, so it will be really hard to get out of this. So, and also the word samadri, that was really nice. For spiritualists, they see things different, and the material people see things different. So I was remembering one thing when you talk about it. So when I first started being having prasadam, so we are used to going somewhere. So when my son was a little small, Krishna, so in school there was a teacher. She was asking me why you are being like that, vegetarian and all. So I was telling something, I forgot now, but she was saying that God made everything, cows and everything for us. If we don't eat, it will be too much in this world. She was saying that that. I was remembering that when you were speaking. So they think like that, and spiritualists think different. This is really true. So thank you so much for explaining all about this. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. It was a very nice class. Thank you for that. And, today's take home for me is the connection with Krishna. Any spiritual activities, whatever we are doing, we should always try and understand why we are doing and what is the ultimate goal. With this in mind, we have to do all the activities, though it is spiritual. That way we can understand and we can be more serious in whatever we are doing. And this will also build a connection with Krishna, just like how Sukadeva Goswami had the connection because he is the Mahayogi, you said. And Bhagavatam, it always, we have to read it because we have to, we can find the examples of all the devotees and we can learn from them how to connect to Krishna. Here, just like how we are reading about Sukadeva Goswami now, also we have to remember that Guru also is very important for us to get connected to Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. It was very new class, probably. And there are a lot of very good points you discussed to this, like connection with Krishna and how Guru Parampara is important for us. Those are the takeaways for me, and you explained very nicely. Nirvikalpa. Prabhuji, at the end, I just want to understand monism. You mentioned, I couldn't get that. So sorry about that. But if you can explain, that would be great. Hare Krishna. Sure.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It was very nice answer. Takeaway point for me is that you don't have to utter your mind all over. You know that God is there, and not only that, you you give the example for the child that we have to have 100% faith that He is there. You don't have to just. Many times we, as a human being and as a material life, we are in material life, so we think about that and we doubt it. That doubt needs to be totally taken out. You know, the ultimate God is there. Whatever you are doing bad or good, time will come. If you remember Him, He will be there. And another point I like about that, that if we do what we are doing here, we don't want to do it over there. So you have to be a little serious here, so that way you remember that we don't have to come back again. That's the main part that Krishna will take us. That I really like it from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, that reminds me. I think the best way Srimad Bhagavatam is helping all of us is to actually help us not forget Krishna. Because the way Maya acts, the moment we move away from Srimad Bhagavatam, it's natural for us to forget Krishna, and then the Maya takes over. When Maya takes over, all these dots will come. Like, I've seen there are devotees that have spent many decades in Krishna consciousness, but then sometime Maya attacks them, and then they give up. And then they're like, I don't think Krishna exists, right? Why that happens? Because it's Maya's function to put us under that illusion. And the moment we give Maya a chance, Maya will do that. But if we hold on to Krishna, who is, Bhagavatam is none other than Krishna, then Maya has no chance. This Prabhupada's one pastime that Prabhupada was telling, it's very difficult to escape from Maya. Maya can attack you anytime. So you have to be very alert against Maya. But then I have no fear of Maya. So you have to always make sure that you fear Maya, because Maya can take over anytime, right? And then you have to always pray that Maya doesn't affect you. And Prabhupada said, even if you put me in a room full of naked women, I mean, this is something that I heard, like I was surprised, but it doesn't matter to me, because Maya doesn't affect me, Maya doesn't attack me. And Prabhupada was seen by one devotee that he was praying to Krishna for something, and Prabhupada, the disciple asked Prabhupada, what were you praying to Krishna? So Prabhupada said, I'm praying to Krishna that he protect me from Maya always. So this is the secret. The secret is we have to remember Krishna in order to get away from Maya. And Bhagavatam is that if we lose touch with Bhagavatam, and that is why it's important, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. The moment we lose, there is some cracks in the armor that Maya sees, Maya can easily get in and then take over, right? And that's why Nashta Prayesha Abhadresha. So all these material, the Maya effects, all these can be Nashta Prayesha Abhadresha. All these are Abhadras that can be actually destroyed by Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Not only that, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. Bhagavatam also gives us much, our strong holding in holding onto Krishna's lotus feet. So it does both. Fight against Maya, at the same time also get yourself more attached to Krishna, so that you are not taken away from Krishna's lotus feet. So that's why Bhagavatam is so important for devotees' life. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji had a question about monism. Yeah, so monism, Shankaracharya actually proposed this, that as we talked about, there is only one Atma.
like what we call, we say there is one Paramatma, but then innumerable, unlimited Jivatmas. So in our philosophy, which is basically started by, the four authentic philosophies, the Vaishnava philosophies. One is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya philosophies. Now, with all the four authentic Vaishnava philosophies, it's the same concept. There is one Paramatma, super soul, and then there are unlimited Jivatmas. We are all Jivatmas, right? Now we are in the progression of going back, purifying ourselves from the material existence to the spiritual existence. So when we purify ourselves, get liberation, we go back to the spiritual world. Now, in the spiritual world, we also have our identity. It's not like when we go to spiritual world, we become part of Krishna. There are five types of muktis that is mentioned. One of the mukti is Sayujya Mukti, which is what the Mayavadis consider as the only highest mukti, which is merging into the effulgence of Brahman. It is not merging into Brahman, right? So in monism, they say there is no two separate identities. There is only one Atma, and we are all part of that Atma. When we get realized, self-realized, go back to spiritual world, we become that part of that Atma. And that Atma is Nirvikara and Nirguna. That means it has no form and it has no qualities. Nirguna and Nirvikara, right? Now, our philosophy is that Atma is Sakara and Saguna. That means it has a personal form. That is why Krishna, Narayana, Vishnu, this is the supreme we consider, right? This supreme has a form, right? Now, even in liberation, when we go, we do not lose our identity, we stay separate. And the relationship is there with Krishna. In that relationship, we actually engage with Krishna eternally, even in spiritual world. So it is not oneness, it is individuality. That is why it's also sometimes called Dvaita, which Madhvacharya proponent. So Dvaita means two. One is the super soul, and the second one is all of us, many innumerable souls, right? Now, in case of monism, there is no separation. There is only one that exists, and we all become part of that one. There is no separation, and then our philosophy doesn't talk about that. So the only way we can understand monism, as mentioned here, Nirvikalpakaha, is that one, which is Krishna, he has many different energies, and we are also a part of Krishna's energy, external energy, right? So there are many energies. Those energies, the oneness comes from being the Krishna being the source of those energies. Everything is coming from Krishna. That is why Krishna is that absolute source, and the energies are coming, and those energies, since the source is the same, that is the only one absolute truth that we accept. That is the form of monism, but that doesn't imply that we lose our individual identity and we become Krishna. Thank you. So let us close. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo Shatapitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo Anant Koti Vaishnava.
Oh, we didn't ask if anybody was
Actually, I was ready to ask that.
Is anybody there online?
Yeah, the three devotees are there.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam Jishra Prabhupada. Very nice class, Prabhuji. And that small video, it was like really, it goes like, just we don't want to get out from that, and Krishna is giving us chance. Krishna is giving us chance to come out from this material world and go back to Godhead. And we have eternal relationship with him, and we should try to
come out from this material world. And that example you gave of Srila Prabhupada, that Prabhupada used to pray, and he was not afraid of like he used to pray, save me from Maya. So we should also follow our parampara. We should be in that mood, like not imitate, like we should humbly try to pray in the same manner, so that we can also be safe from Maya. And we should be very strict with Nityam Bhagavat Sevya, because it is the key to protect ourselves, and in the association of devotees, if we are there, so definitely we are probably safe from Maya. So that is my takeaway, like always, like be in Krishna consciousness, try to be in Krishna consciousness, and always in prayerful mood, and try to go away from this world. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else?
Anybody else? Okay, thank you, David, for joining online. Yes.
Bhutanam Gnata Ma Shanti Vichati.
Bhaktaram Yagnatapasham Sarvaloka Mahesharam Chultam Sarva Bhutanam Snaptamam Santim Richati.
Bhaktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhardam Sarva Mahe Bhutanam Natvamam Shantim Richati. I'm not done. Translation. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, the well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Shuddham Sarva Bhutanam Natvam Mam Yagnatapasya Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suradam Sarvabhutana Natva Mam Shanti.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Now we are just reciting the Srila Prabhupada quote, starting 13 April. Shiva is dahi and Krishna is milk. Dahi, the preparation of dahi, that you take milk, pure milk, and mix it with little sour thing. Then it becomes dahi. Similarly, Krishna is pure spirit, and when this pure spirit is mixed up with Maya, that is Shiva. Hyderabad, April 13, 1975. April 14. This Krishna consciousness temple is the hospital for the diseased spirit soul. And everyone is diseased. Come to this hospital, we shall take care of you and cure your material disease. April 15. My dear boys and girls, you are working so hard for broadcasting the glories of Lord Sri Krishna, lotus feet, and thus my Guru Maharaj will be so pleased upon you. Certainly, my Guru Maharaj will bestow his blessings 1,000 times more than me, and that is my satisfaction. All glories to the assembled devotees. April 16. We may discover so many defending instruments or weapons, but there is no defense from the cruel hands of death. However, you may be advanced in manufacturing so many nice things. You cannot manufacture anything that can save you from death, or from disease, or from old age. April 17. In this material world, we are trying to be happy in society, friendship, and love. But the happiness we are getting, that is compared with a drop of water in the desert. Our heart desires real pleasure, transcendental bliss. We are hankering after Krishna. That is our inner desire. We are trying to get eternal happiness. April 18. They have forgotten Krishna. They have forgotten God. And I am trying to make them Krishna conscious. It is very difficult job. I have to shed my blood 3 tons before I make one convinced in Krishna consciousness. That is my experience. I have to talk with them, especially these Europeans and Americans. They do not accept anything so blind. April 19. Devotional service must continue under all circumstances. This material body is actually a bad bargain because it is prone to suffer. But we must make the best use of this bad bargain. That means to always be engaged in the service of Krishna without fail. Thank you. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Mahaprasade Govinde.
Sai Govinde.
Namo Brahmani Vaishnave.
Namo Brahmani Vaishnave.
Kalpa Punya Batam Rajan. Vishasonaiva Jayate. Sharira Abhidya Jal. Jarendriyata Hekal. Jibe Fele Bishoy Sagare. তার মধ্যে জীবায়তি লোভময় সুদূরমতি তাকে যেটা কঠিন সংসারে কৃষ্ণ বড় দয়াময় হরিবারে জীবা জয় সপ্রসাদন দিলাবাই সেই অনামৃত পাও শ্রী রাধা কৃষ্ণ গুণ গাও প্রেমে ডাকো শ্রী চৈতন্য নিতাই জয় নিমায় জয় নিতাই জয় শ্রীকৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শ্রীবাসাদি গৌর ভক্তবৃন্দ হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে
Krishna Krishna, Hare
হরে
Hare.
রাম হরে রাম
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
রাম রাম হরে হরে
Rama Rama, Hare.
জয় শ্রী শ্রী রাধা বৃন্দাবন চন্দ্র মহাপ্রসাদম কি এটাই গৌর সীতানাথ হরি হরি বল।
Dear devotees, tomorrow is a very happy occasion for us. We are going to have 2 Brahmanas amidst us. Our Bhakti Dhatri and Rajesh Prabhu are taking Brahman initiation tomorrow. Suddenly, this message came just this week. And it's a very happy news. So please bless them. And please try to attend the yagna tomorrow at 10:30, right? In the temple.
Yes, 10:30, please. 10:30.
10:30 in the temple. Right?
Yes.
Please bless them.
Hare Krishna. Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare. Okay.